Basketball fans, welcome back. So the BAL has kicked off and we started with the classification game. So about 2 days ago, I made a video talking about the BAL playoffs and what to expect. And one thing that I missed out on was to mention and give insights on what these seeding games are. So these seeding games are determining who's the first and second seed, third and fourth seed, fifth and sixth seed, and seventh and eighth seed. So the two games that we'll look at in the next few uploads I'm going to make right now are the Ahly Benghazi versus Cape Town Tigers, which was the battle between to know who's going to get the seventh and eighth seed. So the winner gets the seventh seed and the loser gets the eighth seed. And I'll make a video talking about the Ahly, the defending champions, and versus FUS Rabat. So the FUS Rabat team won that matchup against Ahly, so that means that they have clinched the one seed. So the knockouts have not yet happened, and a lot of people might have thought that the knockouts have happened, but these are the classification games. But in this video, I'll be taking a closer look at the Ahly Benghazi versus the Cape Town Tigers. So this game, the final score tally was 87-76. So Ahly Benghazi, this is a team hailing from Libya. They had a better record than the Cape Town Tigers, and they just went ahead and just won this game with ease. I did not see any resistance coming from the Cape Town Tigers, and it was a game that when I watched it, I just knew the end result even as the game unfolded. So this was not a very tough contest for the Ahly Benghazi team. As shooting-wise, they're able to shoot an efficient 49% from the field, 51% on two-point field goals, and 9 out of 20, that's 45% from downtown. So that was the most efficient they looked. And out of the 20 attempts, you could see they made sure to maximize on quality shots, as opposed to what we have been seeing from other teams that try to shoot high volume, but their shots were just knocking down them shots, and the ball was just going in with ease from downtown. But when it came to shooting from the line, that's where they really struggled. They were 10 or 15 at 66%, but Ahly Benghazi out-rebounded the Cape Town Tigers 53 rebounds to 36, and also in the assist department, they dominated that stat with 20 assists. And it was such a good game. And you could see Robert Golden from the Ahly Benghazi team, he finished with 21 points. And he also led in assists with 8 assists. Majok Machardang, he fell behind with 18 points. And Kevin Murphy with 13. But you can see in the total rebounds, you can see Al Rahman from Ahly, he had 11 total rebounds, and he led in that side. But when you look at the Cape Town Tigers, their new acquisition from the Dynamo team. So the Dynamo team fell apart, and Deo Abok Deng, he came from the Dynamo team that fell apart because of the jersey scandal, and right now he's playing for the Cape Town Tigers. He finished the game high 21 points. Samkelo Sela, he followed him behind with 16. And on the total rebounds, Sibanioni, he had 12 total rebounds, and Samkelo Sela, he led with 5 assists. So this was a coming out party for the Cape Town Tigers, and they got the 8th seed. So that means they're just a first round exit at best, and don't expect too much from the Cape Town Tigers, because based on how they looked, they snuck into the playoffs from the Kalahari Conference after the result of the Nile Conference happened in the last day. So there's not much expectation on this team, because there's a lot that needs to be done for them to make it to the semis. And given the domination of the North African teams and Petro de Luanda being there, it's just going to be so difficult to be able to make it past the first round. But Ahly Benghazi, they have just been sensational. And Robert Golden, he led the charge. Solo Diabate, I've been monitoring him, and he had 7 turnovers in this game. He was a turnover machine, and I must say, dude is like he just fell off or something, but it is what it is. So hopefully he's able to recover and get back to form, because he's a 2-time BAL champion, and him looking like that is somewhat embarrassing. But all in all, they were able to win the ball game. I went ahead and looked at how this game started, and you could see the Ahly Benghazi team. They did not have a solid start like that because the Cape Town Tigers, they had the most promising start, and they finished the quarter high 25 points. And that's the most that they scored in the 4 quarters that they played, because when the game progressed, and especially in the second quarter, you could see the consistency of the Cape Town Tigers was in question, and they were not able to go ahead and complete, or not even complete, but just go ahead and be consistent. And they were not inconsistent. They were very inconsistent, and the Ahly Benghazi team, based on how they are good and how they play good basketball, based on the fact that the tier of basketball that North African teams play just mirrors what we see in the European market. The Cape Town Tigers are not able to live up to that, and they just somewhat regressed. They're not able to keep up with the pace, especially with good shot selection and the ability to knock down the three ball at an efficient clip, because the Cape Town Tigers, they had a poor shooting percentage, especially from the field. They shot 35% from the field and 22% from downtown. There was 7 of 31. They attempted more shots, and they had a very low percentage from beyond the arc. And the fact that they got out-rebounded was the reason as to why they're not able to recover quickly, because with the out-rebounding, that means that the Ahly team led in both offensive and defensive rebounds. So that means even them second chance points, they're not able to finish up on them. So Ahly, they dropped the hammer down in the second quarter with 26 points, followed it up with a strong 25 points in the third, and they didn't have to do too much to finish the game, and they went ahead and just outlasted the Cape Town Tigers. So even looking at the other statistics, you could see the turnover bug, despite the Ahly Benghazi team turning over the ball 20 times, they were still able to win this ball game. But this is something that shouldn't be encouraged, especially having north of 20 turnovers in a game. The Cape Town Tigers did not even commit as much turnovers, but they still lost the game because of the good offense coming from the Ahly Benghazi team. The Ahly Benghazi team, they led in bench points with 24 bench points, led in second chance points with 18 points. But when it came to points from turnovers and fast break points, the Cape Town Tigers, despite having poor shooting, they still had a valiant effort in making sure to capitalize from points from turnovers, with 20 points from turnovers and 22 fast break points. So that's just a rundown on what this game happened and how this game happened and panned out. And I'm so excited to see the attendance. The total guys in attendance were 3,032. So we have seen in Rwanda, people turn out in large numbers, and it's something that is encouraging, and it's showing that people are paying close attention to African basketball, and there's a high likelihood that we are still yet to see more to come, because I'll just be monitoring the attendance for these games, and honestly, the BK Arena was just selling out every single time, because they sold out like about 2 days ago for these games yesterday, and they are going to sell out even more. But this was just a good game. The Ahly Benghazi team, they were able to clinch the 7th seed, and the Cape Town Tigers clinched the 8th seed. So the knockout phase has not started yet, because the classification games started yesterday on tip-off, and will also happen today. So we're going to see how these 8 teams are going to match up against each other. But all in all, I'm just excited to see what type of basketball is going to be brung, and I'll just be here to cover it. So if you guys like the video, make sure you leave your feedback down in the comments. I've put on my MPESA number if you're in Kenya. If you're listening to me in Kenya, please be sure to send me something on MPESA just to support the network. And if you're listening and you're outside, you're inside the continent, and or even wherever you are and you're outside Kenya, there's a PayPal link that you can click and help support the network, and also sponsor the videos. So yeah, man, I'm gonna talk to you guys in the next one. Peace out.